Hey everyone, it's Don. In this episode of The Naturalist, I visit Red River Gorge Geological Area in Kentucky. So let's go. Red River Gorge is a national geological area and a national natural landmark. It's well known for its cliffs and its rock shelters and its over 100 stone arches. So what you're going to see on the episode today is an extended hike into Gray's Arch, the largest arch in the park, a little walk out the chimney top for some scenic views, and concluding at Sky Bridge, another cool stone arch that you can walk on top of. So join me as we take a look around Red River Gorge. One of our first scenic views at Red River Gorge. Here's one of many oak species you can find at Red River. This is blackjack oak. It's a very unique shape. It's one of the red oaks, so on those large lobes at the distal end of the leaf will be little spines, which do wear off throughout the season, so this tree does not show those very much, but that's Quercus marilandica, a small shrubby kind of oak species you can find here. Here we've got something that looks a lot like moss. In fact, its common name is reindeer moss, but this is a lichen. And this likes dry, sandy, dry ridges, ridge tops, like where we are. And this is called reindeer moss because this is the kind of thing that reindeer would feed on in the tundra, or deer. And but this is actually a lichen. It's very spongy, sponge-like, really cool, very pale. Awesome. Here we have a pitch pine. It's one of the common pine species you can find here at Red River. And this one I'm pointing out because it has sapsucker damage that's pretty fresh. And so you can really see the effect here where this is a form of a woodpecker that punches holes into the vascular tissue of a tree till the sap bleeds, and then it will feed on that sap and or any insects that might be attracted to that sap. And so pines are noted for their sap flow. It's one of their defense responses, but a sapsucker feeds on that stuff. They don't usually injure a tree very much, but I have seen trees absolutely riddled by sapsucker damage before, and so it probably does stress them to some extent, especially at high levels. So there you go, yellow-bellied sapsucker. Here at Red River, we have sandstone bedrock that's highly exposed and near the surface, so these trails that you walk on are very sandy, as you can see. They're just like ground up sandstone. And then a lot of the plants you see here are sandstone, bedrock loving plants, acidic soils that come from that. And just near us are a couple of examples of that. Here's rhododendron maximum. All right, we've seen these things before on my series. And right next to it is its relative, mountain laurel, Kalmia latifolia. So these are both evergreen shrubs in the Ericaceae, and they're acid-loving plants. So you don't see these in limestone regions of places like northwestern Ohio or east-western Ohio, but you can see them in southern Ohio and in Kentucky, like where we are, Pennsylvania. Places like that with sandstone bedrock. They also make a beautiful floral display in early summer, June, July, with mountain laurels blooming before rhododendrons. And so here's the leftover floral structures from rhododendron, and so there would be presumably some seeds in those structures there. Okay, so let's continue. One thing that's striking here at Red River is how dry and piney it is. There's a lot of evergreens here, several species of pines, including Virginia pine, pitch pine, shortleaf pine, white pine, table mountain pine in small pockets. So I'll point out a few of those today, but this is just to give you an idea of these dry ridges, again with that very sandy soil, and these young pine trees that grow all around here. These look like Virginia pines with their needles that are about an 1.5 inches long and have a twist, 2 needles per bundle, so that'd be Virginia pine. But again, as I pointed out earlier, there are short leaf, pitch, white. There's a Virginia pine with cones on it, a little bigger one. But so let's keep walking down the trail, and I'll point out other pine species as I encounter them. But that's one striking thing. When I first came here, this area has a very western feel to it because of how dry and rocky it is and piney it is, sort of like you're out west. All right, so let's keep going. Here's another landscape shot at a vista. We're here on October 18th, 2025, and the leaves are maybe not quite at their peak, but they're pretty close. It's quite beautiful out here right now. Breezy, it's a warm day. We have big-toothed aspen here, blowing in the wind. Virginia pines out here on this rock. Some mountain laurel. It's beautiful. This tree can't be missed in Red River. This is umbrella magnolia, with some of the largest leaves of any deciduous tree in North America. Maybe the largest. I can't really off the top of my head think of one with larger. And so this is a relatively small tree. You see them scattered all throughout the understory. Here they are, they've shed some of their leaves at this point. So there you go. Very whitish understory, underside, excuse me. And here's a large one. This is about as big of an umbrella magnolia as you can see. Probably 40, 50 feet tall here. 10 inches in diameter or something like that. That's pretty big. It's about as big as they'll get. And they absolutely litter the ground. It almost looks like trash when you first see it. These big leaves hitting the ground. But that's a special thing you can see. This does reach up into the southern Ohio. In counties like Scioto County, Shawnee State Park, but is much more of a southern species. I've already talked about this tree when I showed that sapsucker damage, but this is a pitch pine that I'm pointing out because it's a big one. This is a quite big pitch pine. And the one thing you use to recognize this plant are the big bark plates that occur on its bark. So its bark looks like it's laid down in these ovoid kind of plates. And this is a tall one, it's a big one. Goes way up. It has fairly long needles, longer than Virginia pine that I showed you. And I guess while I'm here, here's a white pine, which is different yet, primarily because it has very long flexible needles, and there would be 5 needles in that bundle. See if I can make that show. I can't, yeah, maybe perhaps there. You could see that there are actually 5 needles in that bundle. 3-inch long flexible needles. This can be a very large tree. I haven't seen a big one yet, but there are these saplings. And so I'll point out some big ones when we see them. Let's keep going. The tree in front of us is a tree we always see when we hike on dry sandstone ridges. This is chestnut oak. With its thick furrowed bark and its leaves that look a lot like a chestnut leaf. They're still mostly up there, starting to hit the ground. What I like to point out here is the acorns that come from a chestnut oak. They're huge, not as big as a bur oak acorn, but they're big. And this also shows you the different levels of maturity. You can see often when they fall, they're greenish yellow or green yellow, and they progress to brown as they mature. So chestnut oak is in the white oak group. So these will start to germinate here soon and put their root in and overwinter that way and then sprout out like crazy in the spring, the above ground parts. But those are the acorns, and there's the tree, chestnut oak. Here we're starting to descend into a stream valley, and you can feel several things happening. First, it's getting cooler, the soil's getting moister, and the species composition will start to change. So we will lose things like chestnut oaks and mountain laurels that are high and dry, and we'll start to gain things that like it moister, like rhododendrons, which we have seen up here. They'll become more abundant down by the stream valley, and mountain laurel will become less abundant. we'll pick up trees like sycamore along the streams and silver maples and other wet feet loving plants. And again, we'll lose these, some of the red maples, we'll lose some of the oaks once we get down there. So, and we can feel that change happening right here. Now we're day hiking today. I've backpacked through here before. It's a great place. There's lots of short trails where you can get out to see some awesome sights. So what we did is we car camped along in the woods, and then we're out on day hikes today. But you can do this as a multi-night backpack as well. So I definitely recommend that if you're into backpacking. We've reached the valley floor, and as I predicted, there's a lot of rhododendron over here along this little stream, but the mountain laurel's all gone. It's all up the mountain. We also are picking up hemlocks, eastern hemlock, Tsuga canadensis, a lot more. We've got tulip tree. There's a little tulip tree in front of me here. Things like basswood. I saw some sycamores. We also have a nice grove of white pines here I wanted to point out, of pretty decent size. So here's one in front of me that's probably 2.5 feet in diameter. That's probably a good 100-year-old or so tree. This area was cut over pretty extensively 100 years ago or so. Here's another one that has a trail marker on it, pretty good sized. And again, these can grow up to be monsters, 4.5 to 5 feet in diameter, and very tall, 150 feet tall. I profiled these things in places like Cook Forest and Heart's Content in Pennsylvania, where there are old growth stands of this stuff. So these are nice nonetheless. Here's another one that's pretty good. Okay, so white pine, that's the state tree of Pennsylvania. But I am in Kentucky after all. The problem of hiking into a stream valley is you got to hike back out. So we're back on our uphill. I'm out of breath. But our goal on this short day hike is to Gray's Arch, to see Gray's Arch, and then we'll hit some sites, little roadside accessible sites as well. So here we are, plodding uphill, but it's a beautiful day here with some friends, and it'll be great when we get there. We're gonna have lunch there too. This is one of my favorite understory trees. It's an evergreen. This is American holly, Ilex opaca. So this is a native tree, pushes up into Ohio, very abundant here in Red River. This is a small one. They get to be maybe, the biggest one I've seen is pretty close to 2 feet in diameter in an open grown ornamental type situation, but in the woods they tend to be smaller. But they're all scattered throughout Red River and very distinguishable by those spikes at the end of at the leaf margins. Somewhat dull green leaves relative to, say, the European holly that's used in ornamental horticulture, which can be invasive actually, which is much more dark blue green and shiny. So these are a little paler than that, but nonetheless they are still spiky. But very cool, makes a nice red fruit in the winter and the fall that birds love and people like at holiday times, right? Onward. This is a really cool rock, both for the trees and the roots that have grown down over it. Rhododendrons and maples and things, but also the rock itself. This is sandstone, sedimentary rock, but it's laid down in ways that it's very hard to explain exactly how you get that kind of layering. But what the key is that layers are differentially erodible. So they erode at different rates, and you're left with all this texture. So this is really cool. We'll see some other spots where this can look like honeycomb. They call it honeycomb rocks. This particular formation, I'm not sure what you call it, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. It looks like the rock is living in some way. Very cool. And we're almost to Gray's Arch, so we'll see that next. This is what's known as honeycomb rocks. So this pock-marked appearance looks like the wax honeycombs that a honeybee would make. Really cool. And this is on a large overhang just short of Gray's Arch, which is in that direction. We're proceeding in just a minute. So we're making an approach to Gray's Arch, and I'll just film our way in. First, there are rock shelters that catch your eye first, which are cool, pretty massive. But where we're heading, see if I can get there with the sun blocked, is up there. That's Gray's Arch from a distance. And so we'll walk under and through, take a look at that.
We hiked like all day. Didn't see another person. Get like halfway to the end. We turned around. It's a long 4 or 5 miles to get down to the creek.
Okay.
And then on the other side of the creek, it's another 4 miles to hook up on another trail.
Nice and moist down here. Cool. Now, as we get to this arch, there'll be a lot of people around. This is the largest arch in Red River. There's a sign we'll see, I think we'll see it, where people used to be allowed on top of this arch. There are some arches in the park you're allowed on top of, and we'll visit. This one you're not, because someone did fall to their death one time. So we'll be able to go under it and on the other side of it, but not on top of it. Here's another shot as we're getting there. I will be increasingly out of breath as we go. And again, there's quite a few people here today, so. Mm-hmm.
Hey, first couple of weeks, I was able to fly by until we got scolded.
They banned that stuff and they started stealing the kids' food.
But we weren't stealing.
There it is.
We just didn't want it.
Anything that was gonna like be thrown away.
Not there yet.
Yeah.
We got hot lunch.
Bit of a drive.
There's an interesting chunk of conglomerate rock, pebbles frozen in time in sandstone. Some more of it. Doggy days.
No, that's good.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
We're in the wrong shoes. You don't wear your boots.
Just an easy trail.
It's not sliding at all. As I gotta figure out how to get off of it.
Oh, sorry. Got right in your way. The angle's kind of tough. I see why people were having trouble here.
It's good. It's got mud on it.
Yep. Slick. Here we go, directly underneath. That's the largest arch in Red River Gorge. It's one of the largest I've seen. I've seen some out west in Arches National Park. Some are bigger than this, yeah, but this is big, especially for the east. Maybe the biggest in the whole eastern US.
Es que vas a tener que borrar a la señora de allá arriba con Photoshop.
Some additional views. Let's go to the other side.
Hey, when I was like this, you gotta use
That is actually
Trail number 221.
This is the kind of thing it's kind of hard to capture in pictures. It's so big and at this odd angle. So, but it's really cool to be here. What do you think of Gray's Arch, Kendra?
It's hot.
Hot? Same as last time?
Yeah, just cut that out.
Oh no.
We've got pictures here before with the art.
All right, so that's Gray's Arch, and we're going to take a little break here, I think. Maybe have a pit stop, a lunch break, and there'll be more later. Now this little guy has been patiently posing for pictures and visitors. That's an eastern rat snake. I hope that shows on camera, but it's pretty awesome. He stalks still. Okay, thank you. There still are American chestnuts in the wild. And here at Red River, they exist primarily these sprouts that come back after the larger parent trees get killed by chestnut blight. And I recall here near Gray's Arch being a lot of these along this trail. And so here's one, that kind of situation. They'll grow for a while till they get diseased and die too. Here's a big old hemlock right on the trail. Biggest I've seen today. On this little spur, we're taking a hike out to Chimney Top Rock. So here we go. All right, we're on a little narrow spit of land, descending a little bit out to the viewpoint.
Rose called us and said
Ample warning.
she did not get hit, but they laid on 600.
Here we go to Chimney Top. So we're on a little exposed rock ourselves here, and we're going to look out at others.
Really hurt her ankle. Really hurt.
See, the boots were a half size too big, and my feet kept sliding around.
I don't see.
Oh, that's cool.
But I say no, because I'm not like all going through this.
Well, we were doing it for Scott.
Right, and I'm thinking, could I go? Yeah, but I want to go. It's not, you guys are.
All right, so that's a good overview of Red River. Down below us.
Death by a million slices. Every inch of his life.
Let's walk out there.
Stuff from all those briars, because it was solid field of briars. But there was no place to walk where you were walking. Yes. Yes. Well, you and I used to go straight mountain. Yes.
Noticing all these wasps up here. You see those? What are those? Just paper wasps, I guess.
Are they pretty docile?
Yeah, they are. They're just paper wasps. But for some reason, they're really active right here. Look up here, Ken. They're all around this pine tree. Yeah, see if they're aggressive. Just poke one. There's a cool rock. There's some people on top of it. Here we can look across. There's some sort of shelters looking spots on the cliff across the way. I'm sure that won't show in my camera, but yeah, interesting. There's these paper wasps flying all around these Virginia pines for some reason.
If you look at the very end, you can see that rock.
It's nice, breezy. It's pretty hot, but out here it's nice and breezy and cool.
Over to the left a little bit too.
So that's Chimney Top. We're on the way to Sky Bridge, and here's a little panorama on the way. The Red River's down there at the bottom.
But it's supposed to clear out all the weeds and underbrush.
Lots of young pines. Now we're out at Sky Bridge, and we're first going to walk over top of it, and then we'll walk around underneath it. So here's a shot from sort of the side, and we're soon going to go on top of it. Sky Bridge. This one they allow you to go on top, and we'll do that. It's narrow. If you're afraid of heights, this may not be the place for you. Let's go do it. It's also pretty smooth with all the traffic it's had over the years. Beautiful out here today. This is basically looking east. The sun's behind me to the west. This gives you a real nice view of the landscape. The river is down in the valley here. It's a really interesting rock. We are kind of commenting about how it looks like an island sticking up out of the forest over there. So we called it Rock Island. There are no guardrails. Got Virginia pines around here. I see pitch pines, shortleaf pines out there. There might be table mountain pine in this spot too, but I'm not sure quite how to identify that one, so I'm not sure. Supposedly it's in this park.
What? I'm not wrong.
I know, that's a very good detail.
And if you see a lot of these dead trees and cleared out understory, that's because there had been fires through here. So I was here in like 2019, 2020, shortly after fires had come through this area and killed some trees and, you know, burnt the understory, but it's regrowing. There's a huge grove of young pines back here where, you know, it was burned and they regenerated. That's what happens generally. You can see that in front of me here. I can see it. But some of these trees, I think you can still see the charcoal on them. So let's take a look at that. Yeah, here's a tree, a pine in front of me. So this tree right in front of me, I'm not sure how well it will show, but I can still see the burn marks on it, charcoal. Really nice day, beautiful day. Okay, so we're gonna curl around and go underneath it. So I'll catch you in a minute. Okay, I'm here with a couple of visitors, just like I am. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about what you are doing and what you've seen so far and what you've liked best?
All right, I'm Michaela. We're from Bowling Green. So far,
this has been the easiest walk. So that has been my favorite.
Yeah.
The Sky Bridge. Your turn.
I'm Emma. We came for the weekend
Mhm.
to have some fun here, and we went to, what was the Natural Bridge
Mhm.
this morning?
The
That one?
the state park, the
Yes.
natural
Yes.
bridge. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this one is beautiful.
Yeah.
We just came here for the day and staying the night.
Mhm.
This is my first time away from my baby, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you camping or where are you staying?
Yeah, we're camping at Callie's.
Callie's. Okay. Is that a private campground?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Okay.
And yeah, we're, roughing it.
Yeah, for sure. Nice. Yeah. So what else little sites have you seen in Red River so far? Have you
Just
seen
this.
just
in
this
Red
one?
River.
Yeah,
Okay.
we went.
Yeah.
We went through the Natural Bridge. There's a bunch of different places that you can go, like Lover's Leap. What was the other one? Devil's something. I can't remember. But yeah, we've done that. We did that all this morning.
Right.
And then we set up camp, and then we came back here.
Right. So you said this is your first time here? Yours too?
Yes.
So what do you think of it in general?
Oh,
The area?
It's so pretty.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So pretty.
It's very unique. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
we came here, because it's
Yeah,
pretty.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, these sort of arches are pretty rare too in the eastern U.S. If you go out west, you can see this kind of thing pretty frequently, but here in the east, it's pretty rare for these stone arches. So
Wow.
it's a unique
Really
spot.
cool.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too.
All right, thank you. Appreciate that.
A sky bridge from below. Well, I hope you enjoyed that visit to Red River. And if you've gotten this far, it's a little reminder to subscribe to the channel if you like these kinds of videos. And until next time, this is Don signing off. Bye-bye.